If you're a freelancer, a gig worker, or you run your own business, you already know the upside of being your own boss. But you also know the downside, that income roller coaster. It goes way up, then way down. So how in the world are you supposed to plan your life, save money, or do anything when your paycheck is constantly changing? Well, guess what? There's a system for that, and we are going to build it together, step by step.
Yeah, this one hits home, doesn't it? This is from a real person on Reddit, and it just perfectly sums up that feeling. It's the constant uncertainty. You have a fantastic month and feel on top of the world, and then it's followed by a really lean one that has you panicking. It can feel totally impossible to get ahead.
If you are nodding your head right now, you are in the right place. Because this isn't about just surviving those swings, it's about building a system that lets you thrive because of them. And that's what we're going to do. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about that income roller coaster and just validate how stressful it is. Then, the fun part. We'll show you how to create your own steady paycheck. From there, we'll build a budget that actually works with your life. We'll demystify the nightmare of estimated taxes. And finally, we'll shift from just surviving to actually thriving. Okay, so let's just start by being real. The hardest part of a variable income isn't just the numbers, it's the mental load. It's like walking a financial tightrope 24/7. That constant gymnastics in your head, trying to guess what's coming in next month. It is uniquely exhausting. And look, this isn't just a feeling you have. The numbers back it up. Check out this data from Eurostat. About 1 in 3 Europeans would have a hard time covering an unexpected expense. Now think about that. If you're a freelancer, that risk is way bigger. For us, a surprise car repair isn't just annoying, it can feel like a full-blown catastrophe. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's get to the good stuff, the solution. This right here is the turning point. This is the single most powerful thing you can do to take back control. The goal isn't to magically make your income predictable. Nope, it's to make your cash flow predictable. And the core idea is called income smoothing. It's a simple, but honestly, brilliant concept. You just manage your money in a way that smooths out all those peaks and valleys. So instead of living month to month on whatever you happen to earn, you create your own stability. So how do we actually do it? With something I call the financial reservoir system. It's just these 3 simple steps you see here. First, all your income, every single dollar from every client, every gig, it doesn't go to your checking account. It all flows into one separate salary reserve account. A high-yield savings account is perfect for this. Step 2, and this is the magic part, you pay yourself. You set up an automatic recurring transfer of the same amount of money from that reserve account to your personal checking account every single month. That is your new steady paycheck. And 3, that reserve account now acts as your buffer, your financial shock absorber. In great months, the reservoir fills up. In slow months, it doesn't matter because it still pays you your steady paycheck. See? It separates your chaotic earnings from your calm spending. So, now that you've literally engineered your own steady paycheck, we can finally do something that probably felt impossible before, create a budget that actually works. This is where we make the plan for your money. So, the big question is, how much should that paycheck be? Well, you've got 2 great options. On the left, there's what I call the super safe method. You look at your last year of earnings, find your single worst month, and you base your paycheck on that number. It absolutely guarantees you can cover your bills. Or, on the right, you can use the average method. You calculate your average monthly income over the past year, and then you pay yourself about 80% of that. The extra 20% just stays behind to build up your reservoir even faster. Honestly, just pick the one that lets you sleep better at night. Okay, so once that steady paycheck hits your personal account, a zero-based budget is gonna be your best friend. Now, don't let the name scare you off. All it means is that income minus expenses equals 0. It doesn't mean you're broke. It just means every single dollar has a job to do, whether that job is paying rent, going into savings, or buying your daily coffee. It gives you absolute clarity on where your money's going. Now about your safety net. You've probably heard the standard advice, have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Well, for those of us with variable income, that's just not gonna cut it. We need to level up. The new target, our target, is 6 to 12 months of essential living expenses tucked away. This isn't overkill, I promise. It's the security blanket that turns a potential panic attack into just a quiet month for business. Okay, let's talk about the one word that makes most freelancers break out in a cold sweat. Taxes. I get it. But the key here is to just take away the fear and the mystery by turning it into a predictable and, frankly, boring system. First things first, know your deadlines. In the US, you generally have to pay estimated taxes 4 times a year. Pull out your phone right now and put these dates in your calendar with a reminder: April 15th, June 15th, September 15th, and January 15th of next year. Just knowing the dates makes it way less scary. Now, for the next question, how much do you actually pay? Well, there are 2 main ways to figure this out. The annualized income method is where you calculate your tax bill each quarter based on what you actually earned in that quarter. This is great if your income is really up and down. But there's another, often much simpler way. It's called the safe harbor rule. The safe harbor rule is a total game changer for tax anxiety. Here's the deal. As long as you pay at least 100% of the total tax you owed last year spread out over these 4 quarterly payments, you generally won't get hit with an underpayment penalty. It's amazing. So even if you have a huge year and end up owing more when you file your return, you've protected yourself from those nasty penalties along the way. So you've done it. You built your reservoir, you're paying yourself a steady salary, you have a budget that works, you're handling your taxes like a pro. So what's the real payoff for all this? It's about moving past just scraping by. It's about getting true financial peace of mind. So let's just put it all together. This right here, this is your entire game plan, your path from chaos to control. 1. Create that financial reservoir. 2. Pay yourself that steady paycheck. 3. Budget based on a smart, conservative plan. 4. Build that fortress of a 6 to 12-month emergency fund. And 5. Make your taxes so systematic they become boring. That's it. That's the foundation. And this is the real prize at the end of it all. When you create this kind of predictability in your personal finances, life's huge crises suddenly become just minor inconveniences. A slow business month isn't a disaster anymore. An unexpected bill is just something you handle, not something that wrecks your entire life. That is real financial freedom. So, as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this one question. We've talked about building a system, a kind of financial dam to protect you from the floods of unpredictable income. So, what's the very first brick you're going to lay to start building yours? What's one small step you can take today?